John Pierpont Morgan, or J.P. Morgan, was born in Hartford, Connecticut on April 17, 1837. Why was he so important? Well, he was an American financier and industrial organizer, and he was regarded as one of the biggest financial bankers of his time. So what exactly did J.P. Morgan do that made him so financially important? Let's go back to 1857. John Pierpont Morgan said, "I'm going to work at the Duncan Sherman Company and banking firm," and that's exactly what he did. For the newbies out there, a banking firm is a company that helps raise money for its clients, whether that be through issuing stocks or negotiating assets with other companies. Now here's where the story gets good. In 1861, his power really started to get established when he took over his father's banking firm, and the ride only goes up from here. From 1861 to 1871, he would be a part of the Dabney, Morgan and Company firm, which would become the dominant source of financing for the U.S. government. In 1895, he skyrocketed the firm he worked in, which is now known as the J.P. Morgan and Company firm. This firm would ultimately become one of the world's leading banking firms. He's really starting to stack the cash now. But the question always remains, I have all this money, now how do I spend it? Well, first off, he helped finance one of the largest industries in America, railroads. He used his wealth to reorganize two of the largest railroad companies in America, which prevented what could have been a possibly destructive conflict between the two companies. He knew the importance of railroads in America all right, and by 1902, he was in control of over 5,000 miles of railroads. His rise to ultimate power didn't even stop there. After the panic of the economic depression of 1893, J.P. Morgan and his completely selfless self decided to fill up the government's gold reserve with $62 million worth of gold. I know all of you are thinking, there's no way J.P. Morgan did any more than that, but you are all wrong. His acts of kindness didn't stop there. After the panic, he went on to financing important American industries, mainly manufacturing businesses. He created the company General Electric by merging Edison's company and Thomas Houston Electric together, which helped the electricity business grow, which was important to American life. He then moved on to steel, creating the U.S. Steel Corporation, which happened to be the world's first billion-dollar company. And what can I say? Steel was important back then. He didn't even stop there. He moved on to a more peaceful part of life in agriculture and helped create the International Harvester Company. And I guess J.P. Morgan also supported war efforts because he took action to improve the International Mercantile Marine Company, which manufactured marine vessels. He also, quite luckily, was ill when he was supposed to go on the Titanic. In 1907, he started wanting the real power and tried to avert the stock market crash that happened that year. He then sought to take control of the banking industry in the United States, and boy did he succeed. As you would to anyone with a large amount of power, the government had a level of distrust for Morgan, thinking he might be corrupt, but he continued to prosper until he died. And he wasn't just some wealthy banker guy either. My boy Morgan had some style in his life. He was particularly interested in books and art. He donated many of the art pieces he owned to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in 1924, and his book collection can now be viewed in New York City as the Morgan Library and Museum. What a guy J.P. Morgan was. What a guy.